I thought my boyfriend was the love of my life, until I discovered he was drugging me at night. Lately, I'd been waking up exhausted. Even when I went to bed early, I'd wake up feeling like I hadn't slept in days. Getting out of bed for work became nearly impossible, which was strange since I'd always been a high-energy person. A few hours of sleep were usually enough to recharge me. I couldn't figure out what was happening. After undergoing multiple tests, even my doctor found nothing wrong with me. The only major change in my life was my boyfriend moving in. We were sharing a bed for the first time. Stephen was my first real love, and this was my first serious relationship. I didn't want to ruin things by asking him to sleep in the guest room. I liked having Stephen around. He doted on me, always making sure I was comfortable. Every night, he'd bring me chamomile tea before bed. One morning, I woke up with a sharp, throbbing pain in my hip. I stumbled out of bed and nearly collapsed trying to reach the bathroom. "Stephen, can you come here?" I called out, panic rising in my voice. When I looked in the mirror, a large dark bruise covered my hip, as if someone had beaten me with a metal rod while I slept. Stephen rushed into the bathroom. "What's wrong?" "Did I fall out of bed or something?" I asked, still dazed. His expression twisted for a moment, like he felt guilty about something. "Probably. I don't know," he said casually, brushing it off. His dismissive tone set off alarm bells in my mind. "This isn't normal, Stephen. Something's wrong with me." "You should see a doctor then," he muttered, before quickly leaving the bathroom. I went back to my doctor, desperate for answers. This time he suggested I consult a specialist to rule out anything sinister. On the drive to the hospital, Stephen remained indifferent. "I'm sure it's nothing. You're probably just stressed from work," he said flatly. "People don't wake up with bruises from stress," I thought angrily. At the hospital, the doctor ran a series of tests, including a blood test and a stress evaluation. When the results came back clear, I should have felt relieved, but instead I felt like I was losing my mind. Something was definitely off. "I would prescribe a sedative," the doctor said, "but your blood work shows you're already on nitrazepam." I stared at him in disbelief. "I've never taken any medication in my life," I insisted. The doctor furrowed his brow, checking the chart again. "No, the test is conclusive. You tested positive for nitrazepam. It's a powerful sedative." That evening I sat in bed, my mind racing with questions. How was this even possible? Just then, Stephen entered the room with my usual cup of chamomile tea. As I raised the cup to my lips, a chilling realization struck me. Stephen was drugging me. The weight of that thought hit me like a brick wall, filling me with a dread I'd never known. I calmly walked to the bathroom and poured the tea down the sink. "Was it hot enough?" Stephen asked as he climbed into bed beside me. "Perfect as always," I replied, trying to sound normal. As I lay next to him, I felt like I was beside a complete stranger. Had I ever truly known him? What else had he been doing to me while I slept? At some point, I must have drifted off. When I woke, the room was in disarray, and Stephen was gone. My entire body ached as if I'd been in a fight. What the hell is he doing to me while I sleep? I knew I needed proof. Without it, it would just be my word against his. So I bought a hidden camera and set it up, aimed directly at the bed. The next morning I woke up just as exhausted as before, but this time I had evidence. I opened my laptop and reviewed the footage. At first everything seemed normal. I slept peacefully for the first few hours. For a moment I hoped I'd been imagining everything. Then I saw it. In the video, I watched myself jolt upright in bed. What followed was horrifying. I crawled up the wall like a possessed creature, slinking onto the ceiling and staring down at Stephen as if ready to attack him. Stephen woke up, but instead of being shocked, he reacted as if he knew exactly what was happening. Calmly, he pulled a stick from under the bed. For the next hour, he fought me off like he was battling some wild animal. I watched in disbelief as he wrestled me onto the bed, then handcuffed me to the frame. Suddenly, everything made sense. The bruises, the pain, the strange marks on my wrists. When Stephen came home from work that evening, I ran to him and threw my arms around him. "Why didn't you tell me what's been happening every night?" I whispered, my voice trembling. Stephen shrugged. "I thought you knew, and the drugs usually help keep things under control." "Why are you even still with me?" I asked, horrified. He gave me a small, weary smile. "My last girlfriend was a jealous psychopath. Compared to her, you're a walk in the park."